they concentrate on in the news and in the media and everything like that are people that are in the long run not worthy of the attention they get, whether it be Anna Nicole Smith or this psycho killer or whatever.
Right.
But they're the ones getting all the glory.
Here you go. We have a chair over here that I think that Ian will give up his seat.
Ian, you'll give up your seat
we're
for
going to take your seat
Come on,
from
sit
you.
over here, buddy.
You don't have to, Ian.
And Matt, because you often help me out, would you get a teacup and a saucer for?
Absolutely.
And maybe it's time for me to go put on some more hot water. See if the big pot has some tea in it. I think it probably does.
Yeah, I think it does. It does.
Okay.
TV.
The feedback going. We're just talking about freedom of speech and stuff like that on the airwaves and the way that
Totally in favor.
some of this is being cracked down on right now. And although I don't personally care to see whatever kind of bloody photos they may have shown from the killer that recently killed all the students and all, I still like I say. Do you really want to see that on your television? I don't care to see it. However, I still believe in their right to show it. And
Right.
although I think that it is far worse than what Ima said, or you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is far worse, and I don't believe anybody is saying anything about their right to show it. So. I think that the violence that we see on TV and stuff like that is much worse than the worst language probably that I hear on TV occasionally. Any night on your average TV channel probably has much more objectionable material than things we get fined for. Let's see if there's some tea in the large teapot right there. The big one might have one. Yeah, see if it has some tea in it.
It's warm.
I think the interesting thing about what kind of what you're talking about is whose responsibility is it? I mean, if we're going to take it to it's the network's responsibility to make something or produce something or show something that's aesthetically pleasing to all people, that's not going to happen.
Sure.
So community standards really, in my opinion, really aren't even fair either. I'm much more for keeping it. If the network wants to show it, the network can show it, because really the responsibility of what the viewer watches is in their hand. They have the remote. If you don't like what ABC shows, you turn it to NBC. If you don't like what NBC shows, you turn it to Fox. If you don't like what Fox shows,
people will tell you,
turn off the damn TV.
my children will watch this, and they don't have the wisdom to know what to watch or what not to watch and all that. And that's not that they don't have a valid point, but if they really don't like it, they don't have to have a TV.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or
No,
they don't have to have that channel or whatever.
That point
it
is almost valid. It's really irrelevant though, because when a parent says something of that nature, what they're really saying is, I don't have any control in my house, or my kid's going to watch TV. It's the parents' responsibility for what their children see, not the governments, not the networks, not anybody else's. It's the individual parent.
But I would be much more concerned about the amount of violence that my child would see on TV than I would be the language or something like that.
My sister, she polices the TV when her kids. I'm crazy.
Yeah. I think most TV systems now, don't they have parental control?
Sure, the VCHEC.
Yeah. And so
and I wonder how many young buggers have already learned how to get past that.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to know how to crack something, get somebody 12 or under, because they are creative and.
It's true. Yeah.
Can you get past the VCHIP? Can you get past the parental control?
He doesn't have it on there. Okay. It's like I tell him, what I feel okay with him, and at this point he still listens to me.
Right. Good.
And we'll see how long that lasts.
Good. And then when he quits, then you can do the VCHIP, and then when he's or parental control, I think it's not really the VCHIP anymore, but it's various forms of parental control. And then when he gets old enough to learn how to hack that, then you're just going to have to let him watch if he's smart enough to hack it, let him watch it. That's what I say.
I do want him to make his own choices, because that's the best way for him to, learn, is to make choices and to find, even if he makes mistakes that way, you learn from mistakes much more than anything else. But part of what I try and limit is the commercial TV, because to me that's one of the things that I object to about TV more than anything else is the commercialization that goes on. And
Right, exactly. Violence and commercialization are much worse than the sex and the language.
Right. Well, I mean, sex is a natural impulse that's going on through all of us, and at least it provides some kind of a frame for that energy.
Right, and it may not be
great.
it may not be accurate, and it may be warped and out of proportion, and stuff like that. But that's the nature of it often, and stuff like that. But just pure unadulterated violence, and like you say, the basically the corporate control of it all is probably worse than everything.
To me, that's the thing that really, and I strive to try and get by as much as I can.
I think I created them all.
Well, let me kind of give it. Y'all get Ralph going here. You may have an interesting story for us. I got to go get some water for Steve here, and you come to life now and
Come to life.
tell us what you're working on or your views.
Well, I just turned in 3 more hours of programming, so
All right, well, tell us
I
about
feel
it.
fulfilled this week. I've got 3 shows now.
Okay.
Got Rapid Ralph Runs the Roads. I've got Tex Ralph's Westerns and Ralph's stuff on Tuesday, which is my catch-all for everything.
Yeah.
So, for example, on the Ralph stuff I turned in, I went to Loafer's Glory. Have you guys heard of Loafer's Glory?
Oh, Loafer's Glory.
It's
Love
a
town.
town. Well, actually, it's a wide place in the road up in Mitchell County, but it's internationally famous because the women during the 19th century named it Loafer's Glory since their menfolk were always sitting on the bench in front of the store. Well, you can still go up there and sit on the bench in front of the store. But you've got to practice to get there. You need to sit out in a rocker on your front porch and do nothing for a long time. You can't get up there if you're active. You've got to. I can't use the word work because that disqualifies you. You got to sort of lazy your way into it.
There's a local
Diligent
women's-
laziness.
Yes, watching TV doesn't count because when you watch TV, you're actually doing something. You're watching TV.
So you can't really work.
No.
You just gotta slide.
You can't train by watching TV. You can only sit out front.
So you can't watch a how to do show on TV.
There's a local women's dance troupe. Its name is Loafer's Glory.
Yeah.
They're,
Probably up to the town.
yeah, I think it's so. I think it probably is.
Well, there's been a hit song about it. It's been written up in all sorts of travel articles and things.
A hit song? A hit song?
Yeah,
What's
back in the 1960s. I forgot who sang it. I tried to find that from
How's it go?
the segment I did.
What's the name of it?
I don't remember. Loafer's Glory. Loafer's Glory is the name of it.
Loafer's Glory.
I thought it was Tommy Fail. He's an old-time star around here that did the Brown Mountain Lights and everything, but I couldn't find any reference to it, so it must have been somebody else. I remember it on the radio in the 1960s.
ever seen the Brown Mountain Lights?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you had a cookie yet?
spooky.
Spooky. That's what
Not yet, but we can remedy that. Thank you.
That was great.
Cookie, cookie,
Okay, good cookie.
cookie good.
Good
Like
catch.
cookie.
He's had 2.
He's had too many.
Too many.
Too many.
He had some chocolate too.
Whee! Now we're trying to get all that energy out.
Yeah.
Well, we actually came to do hacky sack, but they didn't have it. So
So
It's all about anticipation-based
Yes.
energy as well.
right. There you go.
But I get to do
That's
lots of
good,
interesting
man.
things. I was coming down Patton Avenue West by Haywood Road yesterday evening. There was a gorgeous rainbow over above the Grove Park Inn. And luckily having my camera with me, I immediately stopped the car and got great video footage of it,
Great.
Wow.
which will be on here soon. So you got a gorilla video.
So do you just keep a video camera with you basically at all times?
Yeah, I've got one in the car now.
Loaded,
Good.
ready to go.
Yep.
Are you the one that does the you're driving down the road?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I get a lot of people saying they watch it and they love it.
Yeah.
I've heard
It's like a
pretty
travel
popular.
log.
Yeah.
It's like a travel log for local
Yeah.
retail.
It's a travel log. All I do is mount a video camera in the car, shoot the trip, and when I get home, I compose music and put over it, and then do a voiceover with my unique comments, and people like it.
Do you ever stop at different places and just get out and?
Sometimes, and I'm going to start doing that more and more
Yeah.
because I've done the roads. Now it's time to do the things beside the roads.
Yeah. Find out the history of the
Yeah.
town.
Oh, you're gonna stop and explore, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Last week I shot a couple of waterfalls, and I'm going to keep doing that. There are hundreds of waterfalls in western North Carolina, so that's good for a few more segments.
And some of them are easy to get to, and some of them are a little more of a hike.
Yeah.
You need to team up with the guy who was here yesterday that does the Trail Explorer.
Yeah, he can do the distance ones. I tend to do things I don't have to get out of the car.
Well, I know, you and I are alike that way a bit.
It's like the cowboys in the Old West. They would do anything in the world
Get off the horse.
unless they had to get off the horse.
You
Boy,
ever do,
it's tough videotaping on a horse.
do you ever do cemeteries?
No, but
They're really interesting.
I know there's some really interesting one, like Riverside Cemetery down here with Thomas Wolfe and O. Henry and all sorts of people.
Whoa.
You can get yourself a moped. You can figure out a way to strap a camera on a moped.
Oh, I know how already.
All right, well, strap a camera on a moped, and because you can really explore, up some trails and stuff on a moped and stuff a little bit. Yeah, get off. That's what I rode one for a little while, and I found that I liked it because in a car you ride by a lot of side roads and stuff like that, and you sometimes think a lot of places always meant to run up there and see where that went. But you're moving right on. You just go past it many times. But when you're on a moped, you're going slow enough that when you come up on a place that you've always wondered what's up there, you can just sort of turn on up there and see.
Yeah.
Very good for exploring.
Great.
Where's your next trip to?
Well, I've got over 20 hours of video. The next trip you'll see on camera is to Highlands,
Highlands?
which is the highest town in Eastern
Oh, yeah.
America. Yeah. Then I've got Murphy coming up, and
Cool.
I think back to Cherokee, quite a few different
You
places.
should go to the auction up at Highlands. So they still have the auction house
Yes,
up
I
there?
do, yeah. I used to cover auctions for various tabloids back in the
Well, go
80s and 90s.
Go up to the auction and get. We had a catastrophe, and my Wedgwood china all got busted up. This is the only cup I've got left. Go up there and get me some new Wedgwood.
Blue willow is what you really need.
No, I don't. I like the Wedgwood. But anyway.
Transformer.
What's that making it do?
Alright.
Origami.
Well, I mean, paper airplane construction is really,
Transforming.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That sounds good. Highland is. I mean, you could do several shows from that area, from stuff that goes on up there. My goodness.
And I've been up there pretty often.
I have
I
no
shot
idea.
Bridal Veil Falls
Right.
last week, and
You don't have to.
I'm gonna do Dry Falls.
really
I
make a
think
difference.
next. You can actually walk in
Worse, I
there
think.
too.
Oh, wait a second.
Whoa!
That was a good one.
Whoa! It's raining.
Yeah. That was a good flight. First in flight.
First in flight. Yeah, I've seen that somewhere.
I'm like the best one of John.
Yeah, that was excellent.
That,
It did make a difference.
it did make a big
Did you see his Russian Army hat? Show him your Russian
it
Army
on.
hat.
All right, comrade.
Comrade. Yeah, comrade.
Hey, Daddy.
Comrade.
I
Ian,
like this.
You know
Comrade.
what you can do with that and make it fly straight? Put a paper clip on the very back and they'll balance it and it'll fly
Will it?
straight.
Really?
On
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah, on the back, yeah.
Dad?
But
Go ask
because it's
Jonathan,
trying to
he might
go
have
up
one.
if you
Do
notice
you know
it.
Jonathan out in front?
Yeah.
Ask him if he's got a paper clip.
Yeah, try that. Experiment. Aeronautics.
Then we'll get binged by.
That's yeah, well, if it's on the back end, maybe it won't be such a big deal.
Have that force behind it.
Right.
I learned that when I was in like the 4th or 5th grade, which was recently, but none of us in here are old, are
You
we?
went to school around here. Where did you go to high school?
Irwin,
Irwin High.
Clyde Irwin, yep.
And where did you go to school?
In two places, in Winston-Salem to Reynolds High School in Winston-Salem, and then to Oak Hill Academy in Virginia.
No, well, that's local
Mountain
enough.
Wilson.
What about
Was
you?
there-
Mine was
the,
Herndon, Virginia.
Herndon, yeah.
No, it wasn't exactly
That's-
Ghost Town then, but I'll tell you what it was. There was the post office, and there
I've
was
been all
a
sorts of
general
places in
store.
Virginia. I like
And
Virginia.
across the street from the general store, and there was a
Two factories.
blanket factory.
Blanket factory, yeah.
Across the street from the general store was the Ford dealership, and they
Exactly.
sold new and used Fords.
Yeah.
And inside the showroom of the Ford
Pool table and
of the Ford dealership was a barber's chair,
Okay.
and the barber came in once a week.
Are we still talking about Oak Hill? This is back to Oak Hill.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
your connection with Oak Hill?
I was like exploring about 5-6 years ago, and I came across this town called Mouth of Wilson. It was just like a ghost town. There were houses there, doors were open, and I was like going in them, and I was like, I'm a photographer, and so it's just like natural. I was
Oops.
like, wow, this place is like, gold.
Oh,
for
yeah.
me.
So that's kind of
Did
creepy.
you go into the blanket factory, or is
So
it?
yeah, but last
Okay,
time,
that
no
didn't
longer
work. Let me
operating?
see it.
no, it's been, there's only one
We'll have
building
to
left.
experiment.
When they went back there this past fall.
Is it
since
falling down?
Not yet.
Okay.
But nobody lives there anymore. So
No.
everybody.
Nobody at all?
The,
If it's
the
too
power
heavy on the
there
back,
comes
we
from
try it on the
Fields
front.
Power Company. Mr. Fields
A little
was
bit better.
put up one of the first hydroelectric dams in the area to run his
Yeah.
blanket factory there. And so the school, we got our power from Fields Power Company.
Whoa.
And on days when there was ice coming down the river and stuff like that, ice would get stuck in, and we would lose power, and we'd have to wait till Mr. Fields would go out with a.
See, I moved it, son.
I think it was Fields. I might have the wrong name, but anyway,
It was fine,
Did
though.
you live in the big white house?
he lived in a house up on the hill there.
Yeah, that was over next to the post office.
Yeah, sort of up
Yeah.
behind it, I think. Anyway,
Yeah,
and
it's boarded up.
he would have to go down with a pick and chop the ice out of the turbine, and then it would come back up.
He actually did this himself.
Yeah, it was like a little one-man operation. He built a dam and had a little thing. It was it's one of the oldest hydroelectric plants in the country.
A hydroelectric dam that was a one-man operation.
Yeah.
That's
That's a story.
yeah.
Right. And,
That is a story.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe his grandfather had built it or something like that. I mean, it was really old. And there used to be more of them around here that were like that. People, that was, some people build them for their own, to get off grid and stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
So, and the larger ones ran little mills and stuff like that around here. The mills were originally run by water power on a water wheel, but later some of them used a hydroelectric, and they used the generator to run motors in their mill and stuff like
They
that.
also used them to grind corn.
Yeah.
That's why they were called mill. And there used to be quite a few of them around up and down the river here and so
Right.
forth. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can remember
There
in the
is-
50s as a little boy, we'd go buy corn at the mill.
Now, would they run off of a water wheel, or
Medium were, but by that time they were starting to put electrical.
they were
motors
becoming
in
electric?
there.
Yeah, and some of the electric motors would be run off the
Yeah.
generator from the.
But originally, that's where the name mill comes from.
Right,
It's
mill and
mill in
corn.
grain. And that's been around 100 years
You know how I
or
did
more.
Right.
Several
I
hundred
threw it
years.
soft but hard.
And some of us old people remember when they were still running, where you could still go buy your cornmeal and go home and make cornbread from it.
There is
Yeah.
a junk shop in the Ford dealership. That's the
The
only
junk
thing.
shop. Well,
Yeah.
some of this has changed since I was young.
That's the
Whoa,
only
now
thing
that
that's
flew good.
it's open.
It's open.
That's the
Oh.
only thing that happened.
It's here.
That was one of the new. Actually, the post office, I think, was the new.
How far away is this place?
About 3 hours away. Yeah.
And, no, I think it's more than 3 hours.
It's
but,
about 3
oh,
hours.
from here, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then,
I don't know.
How long has it been since you've been there?
It's been a long time since I've been there.
I was there in November.
Probably there are better
somebody's
roads
got
now too.
the flaps
Back when I
on
was
it.
in high school.
And
We won't say how long they
the
were there.
lady in the junk shop said the blanket factory was
Now
making
that's
blankets
good.
for the CSA or something.
Oh, is it in operation?
No, wait,
Oh.
it's
Oh,
closed.
was for the CSA. Oh,
Yeah, but there's like old machinery in there and pretty neat.
Good stuff, yeah.
They're not saying it. People still going in there in droves.
So this is
With the
Interesting place
Hey, are you
to.
coming for tea?
What were you shooting?
Sure, come right in.
There it's just
Let me give up my place. I have
you
to
know,
go
the
anyway.
buildings,
A meeting?
the
Done
old
a meet-
machinery in the building.
Today?
Like what kind of camera?
In the
format?
studio?
I've got like a
Or maybe in the
digital
boardroom, because I'm
camera,
teaching a
D200,
class in the studio, so I bet you're in the boardroom.
Uh-huh.
Well, but class doesn't start till 7.
You know, went
Okay.
there and there's
Okay,
like
well, if you
all
have
these
time,
old
when does your
houses,
meeting start, 6?
factory,
Uh-huh.
Well, you have,
houses
you
are-
have time for
are,
tea before 6.
you know, locked up. But the other houses I was talking
What
about,
time
they
is it?
were just open. When
Oh,
I
it's
came
all
back
night.
last time,
Yeah,
there
it's like
were 3
10
houses up in
minutes.
there
Another time.
before.
Okay, another
And
time.
the houses that were open, they were torn down.
I've got a
But
pot
you
of
went in
water
there and
boiling to
you'd be
make
like
another pot of tea.
Clothes
Thank you
hanging
for the
in
Hey there, would you like a cup of
Clothes
tea?
hanging in the closets.
No?
All
Be on TV.
the china on the table.
Right, right,
everything.
right.
Like people
Oh,
just
you
look
ran
like
them right off. You're telling them they're on TV.
Guys, that's what I heard about Lake Jerome, this place
See
that
y'all
we were
later.
in.
Thank you.
I'll be back, and I will have things to
Yeah.
say.
All
It's
right,
creepy.
thank you very much.
Yeah, and it'd be like the washing machine, everything would be in the house.
Now there's a place to walk through with a video camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Take a-
let's do that. Let's
take
do
a
a
field
video.
trip.
Let's do a video expose on Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, and I can show you. I can show you even more houses probably that you don't know about.
That's what this lady said. There were houses up in the hills. They're like a couple hundred years old, still standing.
Right, there are
Yeah.
some interesting
And
stuff.
whatever spooky stories there are
Oh, yeah.
about that, or
Yeah.
things still lingering in a Lovecraftian sort of way.
Laura Blackley said she wanted to go there sometime. She's was on our show this past week, and she writes songs about love, murder, and corpses. Ghost stories. That's what she's into.
Uh-huh.
Zombie love.
Zombie love.
On
Zombie
Mountain
love.
Dungeon.
It's our new phrase, zombie love. I didn't.
Mount Dungeon, Thursdays, 11 p.m. This channel. Okay.
Zombie love.
Channel
This
20.
channel, blah, 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 blah.
Asheville's
How
Underground
about, okay,
Music
when is your show on? Come plug your show. Do you have a show? Do you have a show, Ian? Ian's World?
Uh-huh.
When is it come on?
Saturdays at 9 o'clock.
Do you have an episode coming on this Saturday at 9 o'clock?
I think so.
9 o'clock a.m.
AM.
What do you do on these shows?
I like just do some stuff, and my mom is starting to be a part of the crew, and she's starting to make a little education in there.
Oh yeah?
Oh.
Like what do you, like get more specific, what do you do on your show? Like do you go to
Oh,
careful.
Whoa.
You have 2 minutes.
It can be very
I
dangerous.
think.
Yeah. So, what's
kind of-
Ian's World about? What do you
kind of
do?
fun things do you do?
Well, like, one show I did about art, it's like about stuff around me.
Like finger painting?
Well, I haven't done finger painting yet, but that's a good idea.
Okay.
So, what kind of art?
What kind of art?
Oh, like, art,
Post-impressionism?
public art, that kind of thing.
Are you behind the camera, or are you the interviewer, or?
I'm the,
It's the star.
yeah, the star.
It's a talent. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Aspiring,
star director, all that stuff.
aspiring child talent.
Do you sing and dance? I think I've seen you dance around a bit.
Yeah, he's sung and he's danced.
That was a fly.
He's singing and dancing more and more all the time.
Yeah.
I was like a crash man.
Yeah, it's slice of life video. You know, it's very raw, very rough production values.
Okay.
And, you know, it's like whatever we find that's present in our life. I mean, Al was a part of one show. And,
Has that one aired already?
yeah, that's
Okay,
been on
so-
a couple of times.
I'll be honest with you.
9 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
On Saturday morning.
Saturday.
I don't get up at. Is it Saturday morning?
Saturday
Okay,
morning,
I don't get up at 9 o'clock
It's
on
not a
Saturday
cartoon,
morning.
is it?
No, it's not.
We got 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
We got 1 minute.
All right, this is the Mad Scientist Tea Party. Your access right here. Come tomorrow to the Tea Party. You are invited. If you are a member of URTV, you are invited to the Tea Party. All other noted mad scientists in the area who are invited know who you are, and remember, things are a lot more like they are now than they ever have been. That is a proven scientific fact right here at the Mad Scientists Tea Party. What are we doing on time? Well,
No, that'll,
that.
Oh.
Hey,
because that's coming right off the cable, so.
Hey, Jonathan, it's time for the switch. Hello. Everybody start waving, and maybe they'll notice in the
Goodbye,
in the other room.
Asheville.
Switch the switch. Is it time? Is it,
Adios,
is it exactly
Asheville.
time? What have you got?
I've got
I
6
got a little bit
Adios,
before.
Asheville.
6 o'clock. All right, let's see who.
Any minute now.
Let's see what everybody has.
Or maybe
Let's
not.
see.
Maybe
I got
Well,
6 o'clock. I got 6 o'clock.
While we're, you know.
6 o'clock.
That's it.
6
All
o'clock.
right, we're off now. We can say bleep, bleep, bleep.
Bleeping this and bleeping that. Yeah, I've got 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Cool. Minute or two behind these things.
Oh yeah, come sign up for my class. I'm teaching studio. Yeah,
Teaching studio.
I'm teaching studio. Anybody who's not studio certified, get on down here.
When?
Get studio certified under the Mad Scientist.
When?
Tonight is one on, so I'm on Thursdays at 7 for this run, and the next one I'm not sure if we've got it set up. Still probably Thursdays at 7. I think we finish up next week, and then we take 1 week break and go back at it. We're doing it in 4 weeks worth of it.
So we've been studio certified, but I mean, if we came through and did it, would we learn more stuff?
I don't know. What you would do is maybe get more familiar with it. I don't know how familiar you are with it. I think you're probably pretty good. You know, I don't think that I offer that much more, because I think y'all are. I mean, you've been running cameras and stuff, and
Cameras, a little bit of switching, a little bit of sound.
yeah.
You know, the lights.
Right.
Do you do any work like with tailoring the lights?
Actually, no, I've not. I expound upon what I think about
That's
lights
what I'm talking
and what I think about the lights that are how they're set up now. But I don't mess with them because I don't want to be messing with somebody's thing that much, and I don't see the point in it. Basically, I don't say as much about lights as I should. I mostly just say that videographers usually look for an even, constant light. You know.
My impression is that everybody's so used to the way the lights are set up now, is if somebody just went ahead and changed it, you'd probably throw everything off for the people that regularly
Yeah,
use the
unless you
studio.
put it back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to alter anything, you really got to put it back.
right.
Because I've seen everybody that sets up to just sort of like have a center sort of shot. Everybody always sets up in the same spot to do an interview in the studio, because that's where all the light comes in. So
It's
I think that's just what people are used to.
somebody might mention it's time for the switch over.
Oh,
Huh?
Still on.
We're still on the air.
Yeah.
Well,
As long as we see ourselves on that monitor, that's coming back off cable.
What's kind of neat
That's
about
what's
this
on
is
the
you'll
cable.
find there's about half second to second delay.
yeah, I like that. That's great.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very exciting.
Wow.
Right.
So we are on a wee bit of a delay. How
All
long
right.
it takes
Well, do
to go
tune
all
in
the way
tomorrow,
out and
because
come
if
all
I
the way
if I
back.
have a quorum tomorrow, I'm expecting to
you can
if I have a
reveal.
quorum tomorrow, which I almost had a quorum today, but if I have what I consider a quorum, if I have a quorum tomorrow, I'm gonna begin impeachment proceedings right here under the officialness of the Mad Scientist Tea Party, where I'm going to evoke the spirit of the Boston Tea Party. So if I have a quorum tomorrow, be sure and watch if there is enough people, and there was almost enough today.
That means we
Just
have
look
coffee.
and see what's going on.
Wow.
Hey, how are you doing?
Thank you.
Ian, I've been looking all over for you.
All
It's
right.
right here.
Right, good. I saw it on TV.
It's so
That's
good
why I
to
came
see you.
in. You too. Bye.
Bye.
There she goes.
Would you like a cup of
Very nice.
tea?
She's gone.
Just coming through like a whirlwind.
Yeah, she's a good one. We like her.
Oh yeah.
Good spirit.
Yeah.
We like
Definitely.
her.
Yeah, and a great person to have on city council.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
it's probably the one person I really feel good about on city
Yeah, me
council.
too.
And I feel good about our mayor too.
Yes. And